Illini football lost a key name over the weekend. How important is this going to be? Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Illini, your daily podcast on the Illinois Fighting Illini. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome one, welcome all to another edition of Locked On Illini. Thank you all so much for making us your first listen each and every day. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. My name is Sonny Verma, your host here at Locked On, where I continue to provide you coverage every single day. I ask for nothing in return. Everything you see and hear is absolutely free. But if you want to feel nice, if you want to hit that like button for me, I would absolutely appreciate it. You doing that simply sends this show to other Illini fans that might just be out there. Just help me out with the algorithm. That's all. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about some big news that obviously happened over the weekend. A lot of us were talking about it. Got kind of distracted by the huge upset that Illinois pulled off against the USC Trojans. But of course, I'm talking about a wide receiver, Malik Elzy, one of the highest rated recruits of the Bret Bielema era. I believe he is the highest rated recruit, if I recall correctly. Well, he's no longer with the team. Bret Bielema confirmed it over the weekend, and it sparked a lot of conversation about Elzy's decision, the realities of the transfer portal era, and what it means for Illinois football moving forward. So I figured I wanted to get to it on Monday's episode. I just quite frankly ran out of time, but today I figured I'd kick off with it and let's kind of break it down. First off, let's talking about who Malik Elzy was supposed to be. At 6'2", 225 pounds, the Simeon High School product was the jewel of Bielema's early recruiting classes. I think you all remember that Bret flipped Elzy from Cincinnati in 2022, and he was seen as the kind of in-state talent that you can build around. Fans looked at him as a natural successor to a Pat Bryant or a potential go-to target for Luke Altmaier in the passing game. But a couple years in, the numbers never really matched the hype. In 3 seasons, Elzy's played 23 games, catching 16 passes for 213 yards and 2 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Illinois' wide receiver room continues to grow more and more competitive. You're talking about players like Hank Beatty, Colin Dixon, Justin Bowick, all emerging this season, and Elzy's spot in the rotation kind of shrank. And then came the news. Elzy was listed, surprisingly, as unavailable ahead of the USC game. And afterwards, Bret Bielema was direct. Malik is no longer with us. He wanted to redshirt, and for us in our program, I just kind of made the decision. If somebody doesn't want to be a part of that and wants to redshirt, then I can't keep them. That's Bielema in a nutshell. Practical, but respectful. He added that he loves Malik. He talked to Malik's mother that night, and he's going to help him with his next step and seems to genuinely want Malik Elzy to succeed. The heart of this is Elzy's desire to preserve a redshirt. Under NCAA rules, you can play in up to 4 games and still redshirt. He's hit that point now, and he's decided to step away. And now he's going to be able to keep 2 years of eligibility to have a fresh start someplace else. Now, obviously, I talked about it on the show this last week. Brad Underwood and Bret Bielema have both been hinting about the NCAA hopefully making a decision soon about the 5-5 ruling, but obviously there's no updates yet. And so without any updates, Bret Bielema has to just continue, and Malik Elzy, for that matter, has to continue assuming that nothing is going to change. And so Malik Elzy, amongst some other players, have to keep in mind. I meant to talk about this in a segment last week. I just never got around to it. But I wanted to mention that with USC being game number 5, it's time to start paying attention to the redshirt tracker. Essentially, now the rules are that you can play 4 games every season and still preserve that redshirt. So if there are going to be any surprise names on the availability reports, you almost have to wonder and at least have to question the coaching staff after the game to find out if said player realizes he's no longer in the plans and, again, wants to preserve his redshirt, similar to what Malik Elzy was doing. As soon as I saw Malik's name on that availability report, that was the first thought I had. I mean, quite honestly, it's because I watched the tape last week as well against Indiana, a team that you lost to by 53 points. And Malik Elzy really didn't get onto the field until the end of the game. I found that to be very, very surprising. From Elsy's side, this wasn't an ugly breakup. His agent called it a strategic decision to maximize development and future opportunity. Elzy himself said he values loyalty. He's grateful for Illinois, and he leaves with respect for the coaches, the teammates, and the Illini fans. This move doesn't seem like it was out of a lack of love for Illinois. It seems like it was about playing time, competition, and a bigger picture career move. And this is where we kind of zoom out. Malik Elzy's departure is part of a bigger pattern across college football. The transfer portal has completely changed the game. Players have more agency now than ever, and they're going to use it. If they're not playing as much as they want, or if they see a potential better fit elsewhere, they move. For Illinois, this is going to be a challenge. You can land a 4-star in-state recruit, sell him on being the face of your class, and still lose him a couple years later if the depth chart doesn't break his way. That's just modern day reality now. For players, it's about maximizing opportunity. Elzy is betting on himself, whether that's Cincinnati or maybe Wisconsin, where Luke Fickle now resides, or another Power 5 program that recruited him out of high school. The door is now wide open. And what does that mean for the Illini in 2025? Honestly, not as much as people may think. Yes, losing a former top recruit hurts perception wise, but production wise, the offense has kind of already moved on. Hank Beatty has emerged as the breakout star. Colin Dixon might be the second best wide receiver on this team. And Justin Bowick is basically a better version already of what Malik Elzy we want him to be. The scheme is built around spreading the ball, not feeding one alpha wideout. So while losing Elzy removes some depth and it takes away the chance for him to be a hometown star and blossom in Champaign, the offense I don't think is going to be affected all that much, or if anything. It just confirms that the guys producing now, Beatty, Colin Dixon, Justin Bowick, those guys are the real deal. And this is also a reflection of Bret Bielema's leadership style. He's not going to beg a player to stay if their heart isn't in it. He's building a program based on commitment, buy-in, and culture. His quote was telling, "If someone doesn't want to be a part of that, I can't keep them." That's a coach that understands the long game. Better to have 100% buy-in from the guys who are here than keep someone who's already starting to look elsewhere. And Brett also showed some grace. He made sure to publicly back Elzy, saying he'll help him with his next step. And that balance, a mix of firm but respectful, is why players trust him even when these tough decisions are being made. So, bottom line, Malik Elzy leaving Illinois is disappointing, no doubt. He was supposed to be one of the cornerstones of Bielema's rebuild, but it's also a reminder of the era that we're living in. The transfer portal means that your best recruits might not finish their careers where they started. Illinois will be fine in the short term. The wide receiver room is already thriving. For Elzy, this is a chance to reset and chase a bigger role elsewhere. And for Bielema and the Illini, the focus stays on building with the guys who are all in right now. That's simply just the reality of modern college football. And the sooner we accept it, the more we can appreciate the culture that Bret Bielema is building here in Champaign. Let me know what your thoughts initially were when you found out that Malik Elzy was transferring out. Is there anyone else that you're kind of keeping an eye on? We'll have more right after this. One of the tools that help make a huge difference for business owners is Quo, formerly Open Phone. It's the same great business phone system you've heard me talk about before, just with a new name. And here's why it matters. Every missed call is money left on the table. When every customer conversation counts, you need a phone system that keeps you connected 24/7. Quo is the #1 business phone system that streamlines customer communications. It works right through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying two phones or relying on a landline. Their built-in AI agent is a game changer. It can answer after-hours calls, captures leads, and keep business moving even when you are off the clock. See why over 90,000 businesses trust Quo, formerly OpenPhone. Get started free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/lockedoncollege. That's quo.com/lockedoncollege. And if you've got existing numbers with another service, Quo will port them over at no extra charge. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. And welcome back to Locked On Illini. Other news over the weekend, the University of Arkansas made a big move, firing head coach Sam Pittman after another tough loss. And whenever Arkansas comes up, one name that tends to draw a little attention is Illinois' offensive coordinator, Lunney Jr. You see, he's got the Razorback ties. He's proven himself as an offensive coordinator here in Champaign, and his name is going to be mentioned. So today, let's just talk about maybe why Lunney could make sense, why he could be a good fit, but also why I think Arkansas is probably ultimately going to chase a bigger name, and whether that job is actually really as good as it's made out. Lunney Jr. is Arkansas football royalty. He started 40 games at quarterback for the Hogs in the early 1990s, led them to an SEC championship in 95, and was a captain of that program. He's got one of the program's most famous wins ever, upsetting number 4 Tennessee in 1992. And he's not just a name in the record book. Lunney has coached at Arkansas before. He was a tight ends coach under, that's right, Bret Bielema from 2013 to 2017. He developed NFL caliber players like Hunter Henry. And when the program needed an interim coach in 2019, they turned to Lunney to finish out the season. So the ties run deep. This isn't just a resume line. He's lived in Arkansas for decades. But here's why this name is gaining traction now. What he's done, the job he's done at Illinois. When he got to Champaign, Illinois had one of the worst offenses in the entire Big Ten. By year 2, Lunney had Luke Altmaier and John Paddock putting up record efficiency numbers. Illinois went from bottom 20 nationally in completion percentage to top 3 in the nation. Top 3. That's unheard of. In 2024, the Illini put up 28 points per game, beat 4 ranked teams, and tied the school record with 10 wins. That's as much on Lunney as it is anyone. He's proven he can develop quarterbacks and run an efficient system and win games in the Big Ten Conference. You combine that with his earlier success at UTSA, where he turned one of the worst offenses in the country to one of the best, and you've got a guy with real head coaching chops. And if you're Arkansas, a guy like Barry checks a lot of boxes. He understands the SEC grind, not just from the outside, but from being inside the building. He's developed offenses that can win with different types of quarterbacks. His tempo system blends physical SEC-style football with tempo and spacing concepts. And most importantly, he knows what Arkansas is and what Arkansas isn't. He's not going to promise to out-recruit Alabama or Georgia, but he can build developmental pipelines, keep the system adaptable, and maximize the talent that's there. And that's the exact type of profile that can work at a really tough job like Arkansas. Because let's be real, this isn't an easy gig. Bret Bielema himself went 29-34 there, and he couldn't ultimately break through. Sam Pittman had some early success, but he got chewed up by the SEC West schedule. Arkansas has one of the toughest opponent draws in the conference. Permanent games against Texas, LSU, and Missouri starting in 2026. Talk about brutal. And it's not just about the schedule. Financially, Arkansas doesn't have the same resources as an Alabama or a Georgia or even a Texas A&M. They're often playing catch up in the facilities and the NIL arms race. So while the job certainly has passionate fans and comes with SEC prestige, it also comes with challenges that are bigger than most programs face. More often than not, when Arkansas goes to play footballs on Saturdays, their team has less talent than the opponent they're lined up after. And here's the other piece. Arkansas is probably going to swing for a bigger name. When a program in the SEC opens up, the first calls will always go to splashy candidates. People are going to mention Gus Malzahn, Gruden, Deion Sanders maybe. Or heck, they may just give Bobby Petrino the gig permanently. Those names sell more headlines, and big boosters like big headlines. That doesn't mean Lunney won't get a call or even an interview. His Arkansas roots, I would feel, guarantee that. But the odds are the Razorbacks are going to chase someone with a higher national profile before they decide to settle on a homegrown candidate. Bottom line is, I think Barry Lunney Jr. would be a very good fit at Arkansas. He's proven as a play caller, he develops quarterbacks, he understands the culture, and his blood runs Razorback red. But I also think Arkansas is probably going to look elsewhere first. They'll aim higher on the national stage. And honestly, I'm not even sure just how valuable or good that job even is. The SEC gauntlet, the money gap, the expectations, it's a setup where even the really good coaches get burned out quickly. Barry needs to look no further than his own boss for confirmation for that. So for now, Lunney, I think, is in a great spot at Illinois. He's got security, success, and a head coach in Bret Bielema who trusts him. Arkansas might call, but whether they hire him and whether it's even the right move for him is another story altogether. I think if this Illini offense continues on the pace that they're currently showing this year, Barry Lunney Jr. could be a head coach next year if he wants to. And those are the most important words of that sentence. Barry can absolutely take an outside of Power 2 type of job. I think those are going to be made available for him for the aforementioned reasons that I just listed. But is that what he wants? He's at the age now that if he wants to be a head coach, it's time for him to go be a head coach. Because otherwise, he may just be looked at as a career coordinator. But there's nothing wrong with that either. Barry is paid very handsomely at the University of Illinois. He's one of the highest paid coordinators in the entire conference. There's a good chance that he's making more money at Illinois now as the offensive coordinator than he would as the head coach at a G5 school somewhere. So that has to come in play as well. Me, as an Illinois fan, I think he's the perfect fit here in Champaign. And selfishly, I hope he wants to stick around for as long as he wants to stick around. I think him and Bret Bielema have really good chemistry. And between Tommy DeVito, Luke Altmaier, John Paddock, I understand that Illinois is going to have a new quarterback next year. But if Barry Lunney Jr. and Bret Bielema are the tandem that's going to target and develop that quarterback, well, you know what? That's why I feel a lot easier about that position post Luke Altmaier than most people. I think we have guys who now have a track record of hitting it out of the park with the quarterback spot. Truthfully, if he wants the job and if Arkansas offers it, I think Barry Lunney Jr. should absolutely take it. He knows how difficult it is to win in Arkansas, obviously in his tenure there with Bret Bielema, but maybe he's also learned from some of those challenges. And just his deep connection to the state, for me, and the university itself just makes so much more sense. I hope Barry is the offensive coordinator of Illinois for a very, very long time. But if he's not, it may be because he really is exactly the type of head coach that the University of Arkansas may not realize that they're looking for. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer that you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I'll tell you what I love about FanDuel is sometimes I want to bet a player prop. Sometimes I want to bet a team total, maybe an over and under. Whatever I want to do, FanDuel will allow me to do it. So whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Couple things before I let you go. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you all so much for making us hit the 3,500 subscriber mark on YouTube over the weekend. It's not easy to produce Illini content each and every day. I mean, during the seasons, I do it 6 times a week. And when football and basketball season is at the same time, I might just record a video every single day. But your guys' just continued support of this program is just, it leaves me speechless. It truly does. And I want to kind of pay you guys back. I wanted to let you guys know that on Saturday, October 11th, Ohio State is going to be playing the University of Illinois. Obviously, my wife's an Ohio State grad. I'm obviously an Illinois grad, and I'm going to be in Champaign for that game. I'm going to try to organize a get-together somewhere Friday evening, more than likely. Saturday morning, I'd like to be tailgating with somebody. So if you're a viewer of the show and you host a tailgate, let me know. I can always bring the drinks myself, but I'd love to stop by and just get to know some of you guys. So Friday night, I don't know where the destination is going to be yet. I'll let you guys know when I decide. If you know of a business owner who would like to maybe host, I can bring them some business. But, you know, for that Friday night, it's the first time I've gone to a football game in a couple of years now. So I'm really looking forward to it. If Illinois can take care of their matchup against Purdue this upcoming week, I think this has the potential to have all the same energy that the game against USC had. It's going to be an 11 a.m. kickoff on Big. Actually, I don't know if it's on Big Noon yet, but it's on Fox. So the potential of it being Big Noon yet again is still there. But again, I'm looking forward to meeting any of you who maybe live in Champaign. You may not be going to the game, but you want to hang out on Friday evening. Let me know. Or again, if you're hosting a tailgate on Saturday morning, let me know. I'd love to stop by, say hello, and maybe share a drink or two. It was a good week for the Illini last weekend, and this time they're going to be recognized for it. Luke Altmaier was named the Offensive Player of the Week by the Big Ten Conference. Well-deserved. He had 20 for 26 when it came to his quarterbacking, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also added 28 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. I don't know how many people can say that they did all that in the same exact game. And speaking of that game, David Alano was 2 for 2 with, of course, that clutch game-winning field goal at the end of the game. And he won the Special Teams Player of the Week in the Big Ten Conference. So special shout out to those guys. Well-deserved. And again, after the embarrassment that had happened the week before, it's nice to have these Illini in such a positive light the following week. It shows that this team can handle adversity and that they can bounce back. And that's just what the culture Bret Bielema has built here now. And that's going to just about wrap it up for today's edition of Locked On Illini. On your way out, if you don't mind, hit that like button. And more importantly, join our Discord. We have over 320 now Illini fans spread all across the country talking Illini sports, life, professional sports, all day, every day. Look, if your Uncle Jeff has no interest in you blabbering on about the offensive line struggles for the Illini, join this community of people who do care. And I always say Illinois has some of the most passionate fans in the world, and it's an honor to be in charge of one of the biggest Illini communities. I think it probably is the biggest Illini community online. So find the link in the description. I do hope you join us. It's another big moment on Locked On College Football Fans. Locked On and Fire TV present College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside 2-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts. A college football preview only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Before I let you go, I did want to mention one more time that if you don't get enough Illini coverage here from me at Locked On, things that I don't have time to talk about here, I do talk about on a different channel, Talk Illini. Find it. It's sponsored by On3. Again, at Talk Illini. Find me over there. We have game previews and game recaps there as well. So if you need more Illini content in your life, and if you're watching this, you probably do, find me over there. Until next time, make sure you stay tuned to this channel. So much content coming your way. I'm going to have the crossover episode maybe Wednesday or Thursday. It's going to be an exciting time talking with Nick. Until next time, ILL. Love you guys.